Today I'm back in the beautiful Barossa Valley at SEPPELTSFIELD Winery. The sun is out, the birds are chirping, and I feel like I'm competing with them today. They are quite loud. This recipe is one of my mum's classic recipes that she makes when apples come into season. It is a family favourite and it has stood the test of time. It is her Sicilian apple cream pie and it is an absolute winner. Now I've gone ahead and pre-made my pastry just so it can rest a little bit. Now with the pastry, I'll talk you through it nice and slowly so you can take notes. I have just placed my flour, caster sugar and some beautiful lemon zest into my little processor here. You could use like a Thermomix or a food processor at home, which makes it nice and quick, with some butter, some nice cold butter until it's nice and breadcrumb-like. Go in with an egg yolk, and usually for pastry you would use some chilled water, but today I decided to use the SEPPELTSFIELD Port tawny just because we're here and I felt like we had to add a little bit of the Barossa to my mum's recipe. Just gonna fold up the pastry and just let it rest to the side, and while that's resting we'll get onto making the cream filling for this pie. So into the stand mix, I'm gonna go in with my sugar and my eggs and beat them until they're really nice and thick and creamy and there's lots of volume in that. And then we'll go in with the rest of our ingredients. I've got some cinnamon, sultanas, some cream cheese, a little bit of flour just to hold it all together, and cream. And once that's come together, I'll slice the apples and we can start to assemble the pie. So our eggs are nice, thick and creamy. So next we're going to go in with all the rest of the ingredients. So cinnamon goes straight in, our sultanas, our flour, our cream, nice thickened cream, and our cream cheese. So if you've got it in the fridge, take it out maybe an hour before, just so it's really nice and malleable. That way it'll incorporate into the filling much easier. And then we'll go in with a little bit of lemon zest as well. These lemons were just picked on trees right behind the camera. So they're beautiful and local and so vibrant. So a good amount of lemon. All right, I'm gonna turn this onto a nice medium speed. Let that whip until it's nice, silky and creamy. And while that's happening, I'm gonna start rolling out my pastry and spreading it into the tin. So I'm just rolling the pastry out in between 2 sheets of baking paper, and I'm just kind of judging it to make sure that it fits the whole base of the tray as well as the sides too. So we want to get this pastry nice and thin because we're not blind baking it. We're going to pop the pastry in and the filling straight inside. So we want it to be nice and thin so it stays nice and crispy. All right, so the pastry is in our little cake tin here, and you can see all you need to do is just a little bit of patchwork just to make sure there's no holes. Once the cake is done, you're going to slice it and lift it out so there's no panic of is my tart going to stick to the tray, which we love. Now, our filling is beautiful and creamy. So what we're going to do next is grab our apples and we're just going to layer them down and essentially cover the base of our little apple cream pie with these apples. So we'll make probably 2 layers thick of apples here. We want to get as much apple flavour as we can, nice and evenly, and then our filling gets poured straight on top. Now I am using a bit of a smaller tray than what my mum would at home, so there will be a little bit of leftover filling. So if you just had a tray that is big enough per what the recipe says, about 25 centimetre tin, you should absolutely nail the amount of filling. You could freeze it and make a little cheeky ice cream or semi-freddo. There's a little treat for you at home, or just make a bigger pie, or you could make an extra one. Beautiful. I feel like they're probably my little snacks. So what we're going to do now is grab our beautiful cream filling with flavours influenced from the Arabic spice trade back in the day in Sicily. We'll get this one nice mix. The sultanas, I feel, always fall straight to the bottom, so just give it a good mix. And then we're going to pour over those apples. I feel like we almost might make it. Beautiful, and just spread that all out. All right, we're gonna place this into the oven. We'll cook it until it's nice and golden. We'll take it out, and honestly, this is best served warm with a dollop of cream and a bit of extra cinnamon. I cannot wait to tuck in. Our Sicilian apple cream pie is out of the oven. We've allowed it to cool almost completely because we do want to enjoy it a little bit warm. I've just popped some icing sugar on top, and a bit of the tree above me has fallen into it, but that's okay. So we'll cut a nice generous piece of this. Just cut straight in. All right, so we'll scoop a nice, beautiful piece of that onto our plate. Oh my God, we're just gonna pop a bit of cream just on the side. And that is my mum's Italian apple cream pie, fit for any occasion.